So I installed a ceiling fan in our primary bedroom a couple weeks ago, and it was the Home Decorators collection from Home Depot black ceiling fan, and it was a little complicated, so I thought I would make a video on how to, because I couldn't find one online, and I think it would have been really helpful to make this process easier. So I'm going to walk you through every step. So this is what the ceiling fan looks like. We have been loving it in the primary bedroom, so now I'm putting it in the guest bedroom. This is what it's looking like right now. It's just not the vibe. We need to get something better in here. So step one for doing any electrical is finding the breaker for that space and turning it off. It's going to be a lot easier if you have someone in the house to help you with this, because I was just running up and down the stairs checking to see what breaker was what, and I've definitely put on a little bit of a sweat. I turn off the breaker, and then I also turn the switch off in that bedroom just as an extra safety precaution. Then I remove the previous light fixture. I unscrewed this from the ceiling. It was up here like this. And now it's time to take the wiring apart, and then you're going to unhook all this right here. So we're going to do that right now. And I don't know if this is just because it's an older home, but our ground wire for our other room was actually way up in here, and I had installed the whole ceiling fan and then saw the ground wire at the end and had to take everything apart. So this time we are going to take that ground wire because I want to have it here. Okay, so I pulled that ground wire out, which is this one. Now we are taking this metal piece here, and that is going to go on our ceiling bracket up there. And to secure it in place, we are using this screw, this spring washer, so it has a little divot there, and then a regular washer. Okay, so we have this in place, and so this is getting screwed in to that little thing right there. If the screws that came with the ceiling fan to hook up to your electrical box and hold that bracket does not fit in the holes, just use the screws you had before for your previous fixture. So this is installed with my old screws, but do not screw this all the way up yet. Do not tighten all the way. This is where I had problems last time, because we actually have to put this motor in here, and when it was snug against the ceiling, it was really hard to get in. Okay, now we are unscrewing these screws here and attaching them here to put all the blades on the fan. Now that we got this on, we are going to take this piece and it is going to go in our mounting bracket there. This has a groove on it here. There's a groove right here, and that has to sit in the spot up there. So we're going to line it up, and then it shouldn't move at all once it's installed. The groove I just showed you in the fan is attaching to that groove right there. We're taking one of these screws and a washer, and we're putting it in this metal piece. We have to make this loop a little smaller, and then it's going to tighten around the screw like this and be screwed to the ceiling. So we unscrew it there, tighten it, and then install. Okay, so now we have that done here. And I like to attach my wiring to our ceiling portion before I'm hooking up this motor. Last time I did the motor first, and honestly, it made it a lot more complicated and hard to reach all the wires. So I'm going to do this first. Black is our hot wire, and it's attaching to the black wire in the ceiling. White is neutral. It's going to go with the white one in the ceiling. And green is the ground wire. And in older homes, they might not have the green coming out up here, but it is just your plain copper wire. When we are connecting these wires up to our ceiling, we are connecting the wires, and then we're going to put this with the two wires attached at the end. So you're attaching the wires, and then it's going inside this. So we are twisting that wire over that one. I usually take pliers and give it a good twist, and then we put the cap on. So it's going to look like this. We have our two white wires, and then I put this cap over the end. Okay, I have all the wires hooked up now, and when you follow the directions in the box, it says to install this before connecting your wires, but I found that extremely difficult. So now I'm hooking up the motor, and I'm going to show you where I put it. So I'm going to install it in its forever place and then hook up the wires, because when you do it the other way, it's just way too hard. But before you install this, I push all the wiring up into the electrical box up there, so it's not dangling out and it's in the metal piece in the ceiling. So I did not tighten this all the way up because it's so much harder to get this motor in, but this is where it's sliding in the motor. Okay, and then you can tighten it afterwards. If you tighten it ahead of time, it's honestly almost impossible to get it in. Okay, now it's in place, so now I'm going to connect the wires that go in here and also on the other side, and then we will tighten up these screws so that it pulls it closer to the ceiling. All those wires are in place. There's one on the other side too, and now we're going to start putting the rest of this together. We have these two little screws here, one here and over there. They have to go in these holes here. So I'm going to totally take this one out, install it in the single hole, and then I'm leaving the other one and it'll go in there. Then once those screws are in place, we put this little trim piece that was here, we put it up and twist it onto those screws. Now the last piece, put this on right there and then you're done. For the moment of truth, we are going to turn the breaker back on and see if we hook this up right. If you like this video, make sure you like it and hit that subscribe button and come back for more DIYs.